Okay. And I will give you the topic. I will give you what you need. In big letters, you write this word on top. You write the word sequence on your paper in big letters, because that is going to go under the letter S when you alphabetize your stuff. This will be sequence. And I will tell you what a sequence is, and you need to write it down, because on the quiz I'm going to say, what is a sequence? And you need to write down the exact words I say here. A sequence is an ordered list of numbers. Sometimes we call it a pattern. And you've been doing these whole sequence pattern things from the time you were whatever there. It's also a pattern.
Is that an E or a C?
Well, which one?
For order.
Well, do you think it would be a C?
No,
Have
but
you guys not had spelling?
Yeah.
See, now one thing also, when you get to be fifth grades, I expect you to have some sort of your own personal logic, or some of the questions you would ask would not be, I mean,
I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to
would
like.
you think ordered was spelled O-R-D-E-R-C?
Oh, no, I thought
Ordered? Get that? Is that the thing?
Oh no, I thought it was an E. I just wanted to make sure so that I didn't get it wrong.
I appreciate your attention to detail. Now, I'll give you for example of this here. In a sequence here, for example, this one, you'll see very easily what this means. It just means, let's say you've got 6, 8, 10, and then they ask you to give the next 3 numbers in that sequence. You obviously would tell me that, Josh, the next 3 numbers would be what?
Yes, for 12.
12
14.
and
16.
yeah, see, let me tell you, young fifth graders, math in fifth grade starts out, I told you, this incredibly easy stuff that you've probably done in third grade. But it's always good to build the base, and then it'll get harder, and then it's not quite always that way. Now, the other thing you need to know here is this, okay? When you have a sequence or a pattern like this, these things are called terms. Okay, this 6 is the first term. The 8 would be the second term. The 10 would be the third, and I'm not going to put them all up there, but you kind of get the deal. If I asked you what is the seventh term of this sequence, what would be the 7th term of that sequence, this being first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth? The 7th term, Sam, is 18. And that would be absolutely splendiferous there. Okay. The other thing that our beloved book will ask you is, they will ask you what color shall we? Let's go hot pink here. They will ask you what the rule of the sequence is. And by rule, they simply mean, what do you do to a term to get the next term? To get the next term. And when I always like to do this. My favorite thing to do is these little bubble things. I don't know why. It just makes it look like them.
That's fun as recess.
Did you say that's as fun as recess? Maybe that's why they take recess away from you, because you get to do bubbles. Okay, so if you look at this, I got my 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and I ask you to give me what is the rule of that. You could say it a couple different ways. What do I do to 6 to get 8 and 8 to get 10? It always follows the same rule. The rule, Caleb, is, what's that? Yeah. You could say it as add 2 or count up by 2. It doesn't matter. You get to pick however you want to say it. Any other way you could say that? I don't know. I don't know if there's another way to say it. You probably could say something like even numbers or whatever it is there. How about this one? Let's do another. I gotta flip pages here. 18 14, you can always tell me to go back
Wait,
later.
what?
Okay.
What would be the next two terms in that sequence? The next two terms in that sequence?
Wait, are we writing this down?
You wait. Let me go back to what you wrote on that thing. Anything I write on the board, you write on your paper.
Okay.
Including examples. I bet it was even highlighted maybe even on your thing there. David, the next two are
6.
6 and 2, right? And then if I asked you for the rule, Evan, is, how would I do to each term to get the next term? You could say minus 2, you could say subtract 2, decrease by 2, either one is fine. A lot of times there's a lot of different ways to do that. Did I miss a number? Can't read the minus? You think that's a C there? No, it's a, this again is an E. How about that? Because rule is never spelled with a C, this would probably end up being an E.
What's
Thank
that
you.
word?
Now, once we've finished that, I have one more for you. Take out another blank piece of paper.
Yes, sir.
Another blank piece of paper. Do not do it on the back because when you alphabetize it, you don't know for sure. I would never write notes actually on the back of papers. I'd always put it on the front because when you go through it, yes ma'am?
It's actually -4.
Oh, that's right. -4. See, somebody was paying attention. Who said -2? One thing you'll learn about Mr. Hahn is he does tend to make a mistake now and then.
I'm going to.
Actually, more than now and then. Probably every other day. Well, sometimes 3 times a day. One time I made a mistake in everything I did. It was a bad day all the way around. All right, on your next piece of paper, write this down. The word is digits.
Can you do that fancy one?
You get to write your notes however you like. That's why they're your notes.
Well, we can other like.
Oh my, yeah.
That's
Like 3D. What the heck are you doing? Are you doing like something?
Ooh, YouTube. If you dot YouTube dot. It's still there. Yes. No. You should have kept YouTube on.
Digits. Let's do this again.
Oh, I already wrote digits.
Digits, not you.
In our numbering system, 5th graders, believe it or not, we have 10 digits. We have 10 of them.
1, 2,
10 of them.
3.
And the digits very simply are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6, 7, 8.
Now, I appreciate people yelling out while I'm doing this. It's usually very counterproductive to what we're trying to accomplish. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are the only 10 digits that we have in our number system. All numbers are made up of a combination of those sort of numbers. So if you see this number here, let's say 785, okay, the book is going to ask you things like, what is the last digit? Which is pretty tough, I know, but the last digit would be the one that's at the end here. The last one is the 5. Or they might ask you, what's the first digit? Again, I know the 5th graders can handle this. The first digit would be the 7. Or they might ask you, how many digits? Well, if you count them up there in that little piece, that number there is 3 digits. 1, 2, 3.
Is that?
Just know, again, if you have a question, raise your hand and I will call on you. I'm not a big fan of people blurting things out. It's just kind of the rules.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's supposed to be a W by the 5.
Absolutely. Since what is spelled with a W and not an E or a C, let's just go with that.
Yeah.
And everybody will be happy. Okay. That, ladies and gentlemen, now, how many notes have we taken, children? How many? 2 pages of notes. You are now going to, because the note-taking portion of our class is over, you are going to take those 2 notes and put them in the back in alphabetical order, which means, Evan, what goes first in the back?
Oh, in the back?
The letter D. Well, not going from backwards. You should put your digits in front of sequences because if you're looking in alphabetical order, the D would come before the S. So the very final page would be S for sequence. The one above it will be D for digits, and then we'll keep doing that every day so everybody does hokey pokey and turns themselves around. Can you go back to that? If you didn't finish the sequence page, it's right there. I will leave that up for you. Just for a second here. After we're done taking our beloved notes there, children, then I will say your assignment is, if you do a favor for me, and I will generally just tell you what lesson it is. I won't generally tell you what page that is because you're 5th graders, you can figure out that lesson number 1, it says on the top and the bottom of every page what lesson it is. So your assignment is going to be lesson number 1. You can kind of page in your book till you find it. In this case, it does happen to fall on page 10. Okay? Yes, ma'am? You don't feel good? You want to go ask Mrs. Ryan to talk to Mrs. Ryan? Come here.
Wait, there's 3 plus 3? Oh my gosh! Oh yes.
Okay. So here's the deal. After we do the whole note sort of thing, I'm going to say, okay, your assignment's going to be lesson number 1. I'll probably come up to the beautiful board up here. I'll probably erase whatever stuff it is. See if you guys can get to lesson 113 today. We'll just teach it lesson number 1. Okay, now listen very carefully, children. Okay, you don't have to, is there something that comes in front of it? Okay, you'll see, turn to page 9. See where it says lesson practice on page 9?
Yes.
We don't generally do that. We just go right to where it says written practice, which is what you're going to do. I will assign lesson number 1. You will go back, not right now yet, and get a piece of homework paper or whatever it is. And then you'll start on your homework, which, do you only have 25 problems?
Yeah.
This book is the next lesson only got 25 problems?
No.
Let's start with 30 next?
Yep, 30.
They must just be nice with you on that first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to do all of page 10, but please listen to me. I am not looking for just the answers on this, so when you do the problem, this is what I need to see. Example, problem number 1. Problem number 1 in your book, you are going to write down 10, 15, 20. You'll write 10, 15, 20, then put 25 there, and maybe circle it because that is your answer. Look, it already gave you an answer. How about that? Problem number 13. Problem number 13 in the book is that 3, 6, 9, 12. I mean, you'll write down the 3, 6, 9, 12. They give you 3 no more blanks. You'll write in there the 15, 18, 21. Go ahead and circle them because I will only, when I read the answers, I will only read those three. But notice problem 13, what also does it tell you to do? It also tells you to give the rule. So after that, you're just going to say, you know, you could say add 3, you could say plus 3, you could say count up by 3.
Wait, can you just?
It's kind of your thing.
Can
You
you
could put a plus sign and put plus 3, I don't care.
Yes.
But I do need to see this, children. 3,
Oh, yeah.
6, 9, 12. I don't want just those 3 answers there. Okay? Das ist gut. For problem number 20, you know, you just write down 186 with the 3 zeros and you write how many digits are there? 6 of them. So again, I don't just want to see answers. If you want to time me on how much longer it'll take you actually to write that down, I'm going to guess it's like 2 seconds. So you can afford the 2 seconds to do that, just to make sure we're good there. Okay, got that? Perfect. I can see it. So you only have 25 problems. And I will guess, we have, what do we have, 15 minutes? Yeah, you will finish this in probably 8 minutes. But again, that's the way the early season goes in fifth grade math. So don't fool yourself into thinking that it's always going to be this easy, because it will not. You don't want to burst your proverbial 5th grade bubble.
Wait, what? What's that?
Huh?
What's proverbial?
Proverbial?
Yeah, whatever.
Look that up at home sometime.
Yes,
Proverb.
ma'am.
What is a proverb, by the way? Anybody know what a proverb is?
Proverb.
Proverb is a saying. Like a stitch in time saves 9, or yes, Caleb, sir.
On like the last thing, like to 2025, like I'm not gonna say the answer, but like if it's like 568, would you have to be like 568 is the last number?
No, you just write the digit. That's the last number. Like problem 25, you just put a 0 down there. That'll be fine. All right. Okay, then you can go grab. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's have David just pass out a piece of homework paper to everybody. Otherwise, we end up with a big. Generally speaking, at this time, I would also give you a quiz. But I don't have one because we didn't learn anything yet. So I can't really quiz you over something we've never learned yet. That would just be goofy. But usually at this time, I'd say, here, do this quiz. Then when you finish the quiz, you put it on my desk. Then you get your homework paper. Then you start on your homework. Everybody's relatively happy. Yes. You're asking me about the letter C again. You'd have to ask. When you get to Mrs. Stone's class, ask her why Mr. Hahn has a doll on his counter.
Okay.
That's what your job is. She will tell you that. So you may get going on that. If you have any questions on if you're doing something right, just come chat with me. Everybody will be welcome. And again, you don't have to speed through this because you will easily finish in about 10 minutes and you have 15 minutes.